Hello, happy Thursday. What's going on, everybody? Liam here from Everything NYJ. Hope you guys are all staying happy, safe, healthy. So, before we get into this video, as always, I just wanted to mention that you could follow us on all social media platforms at Everything NYJ. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel and turn those notifications on because Everything NYJ is bringing you daily Jets content. So, I do this is a video I've been looking forward to make for a long time now, right? And every year I do this, it's what is the current state of the New York Jets? And I did it in 2020, the 2-14 year. I did it last year, Zach's rookie year, Salah's rookie year. And a lot of times the season's over by now, right? And we are 4-2 right now. A lot of times it's what is Sam Darnold? What is Adam Gase? What is Zach Wilson? What is Robert Saleh? What is the identity of the team? I think that is the biggest question I ask every year. And for years now, we have lacked an identity of this team. Think in the years past, what was the identity of the New York Jets? Do you guys have an answer? Because I really don't. I guess it was getting blown out, blown coverages, guys not caring, guys giving up on plays, quarterbacks throwing interceptions. Nothing positive. So you look at this 2022 New York Jets team. What is the identity of this team? In my opinion, this is a team on the rise in youth. That is the identity of this team. Young players, young playmakers. Look at Brees Hall, 21 years old. Garrett Wilson, 22 years old. Quinnen Williams, 24 years old. Sauce Gardner, 22. Zach Wilson, 23. That's just to name a few. These are young pups. These guys are young. They're just getting their feet wet. A lot of these guys are rookies, Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall, Sauce, Jermaine Johnson, just to name a few. I'm not going to go through the entire draft class, but they haven't even played a full NFL season yet. Zach Wilson kind of included. He was here for a full season, but obviously he's played 16 games. This Sunday against the Denver Broncos will be his 17th game. That's technically one season. So from what we've seen from week 1 to now, this is the team on the rise. Like, I think we're all very excited for the first time in a long time about this New York Jets team. The season's not over. We're 4-2. We're making a statement because you think back to the Ravens game, like week 1, how much have we changed from week 1 until where we are now, going into week 7? So we were getting blown out. I don't think anybody really believed in Joe Flacco. A lot of us, we tried to hype him up. We tried to get behind Joe Flacco because we wanted something to believe in because we've been so bad for so long, and we just had possibly one of the best draft classes in NFL history, Jets history, and it's like all this talent all summer long, all off season. It was all positive, positive vibes only, as Saleh says. And then obviously Zach Wilson goes down, and it's kind of sucked the air right out of the team, right? But as Jets fans, we wanted something to root for. We wanted to be excited. Joe Flacco comes in. He's not really that guy. Who's throwing for upwards of 60 passes a game, 300 plus yards each game. So it's like the guy could still throw, right? But he was a statue back there. It was hard to watch. He was obviously a shell of himself, right? I don't think Joe Flacco is anything like the Joe Flacco of the Baltimore Ravens. And that's fair to say. He's 38 years old, 37 years old. Maybe it's time to hang it up, Joe, right? So week 1, it's like the game was over by halftime. Me and Gino were at the game. We left by the fourth quarter. I wasn't even there for the Tyler Conklin touchdown, the only touchdown that the Jets scored in their home opener. And it wasn't really loud. It's like me, it's like a couple other guys. Like, we tried to get the crowd into it. Like, we were trying to believe in something, but like it was raining out. I understand that, and it wasn't really. There was nothing to cheer for. That like the Jets were flat. It's like I'm banging the chair in front of me, like trying to get the team going, and it wasn't working. So fast forward, week 2, they win by the skin of their teeth, 31-30, right? But it's like it was a win, and that was good for the culture at the time. We'll take the win, right? It's like week 3, we get destroyed, absolutely destroyed by the Cincinnati Bengals, and then week 4, Zach Wilson comes back, and he's 3-0 since his return. But before we get into the offense, I think another one of the identities of this team is an aggressive defense. So far in 6 games, we have 14 total sacks on this team, right? Quinnen Williams is playing like a Pro Bowler. This is obviously Quinnen Williams' breakout year. We all wanted to know exactly what Quinnen Williams was. That goes back to the identity of the team. What is Quinnen Williams, right? So his first couple of years, his first 3 years, whatever he is, um, he hasn't really completely showed up. He would have like flash plays here and there, but it's like it'd be like 2, 3 weeks on and then 2, 3 weeks off. It'd be like certain times like you understand like he's out there, you see him, you notice him, and then he would kind of go away for like the big plays, right? So I think that was a lot of things that that we wanted to see the players improve on, specifically Quinn Williams. And really the entire front four, the defensive front four, the defensive line is getting a lot of sacks and pressures against good quarterbacks. And with Quinn Williams, it's like obviously, it's like he's the AFC Defensive Player of the Week this week. It's good things coming from from Quinn Williams, excuse me. So guys like C.J. Mosley, Quan Alexander, Quincy Williams, they're having big hits every week, right? Michael Clemens, Sauce Gardner. He's a rookie that's playing like a veteran. He's using the sideline as an extra defender. He has good field awareness. He's really not playing like a rookie at all. Like every now and then he gets a little bit handsy, but he is going one-on-one with the top receivers on every team, and he's shutting them down. He's holding his own. He's held his own so far with guys like Mark Andrews, Jamar Chase, uh, George Pickens, Tyreek Hill, Waddle, um, Lazard. He's holding his own with these guys, and the good thing is he's only going to get better, and that goes for this entire team. We just talked about the youth. These guys are going to get 100% better. They're only going to go up and onwards from here, and it's just really it's inspiring. We have rookie Sauce Gardner, and then we kind of have veteran DJ Reed. DJ Reed has been playing lights out as well. He's been one of the bright spots of this team, but this team is full of bright spots, right? This entire defense, they have really, from where they were weeks 1 and 2 to where they are now, it's been lights out because they're not playing flat. They're not, like they don't come out flat, just like lethargic. These guys, I was watching against the Packers. They were ready to play. These guys showed up. They're giving it everything they have, plus that 60% that Robert Saleh was talking about, which you can't ask for anything more, right? It's like every play, it's a big hit. They're stopping running backs. They're shutting down receivers. We're getting interceptions. Sauce Gardner with a huge safety against Teddy Bridgewater to knock him out of the game. This team is playing with excitement. They're playing with passion. They're playing hard. For years past, we can't really say the same. We have had great defenses in years past, but these last couple of years specifically, not so much. So getting into the offense a little bit, right? Um, 3-0 since Zach Wilson has come back. And we're not asking Zach Wilson to play hero football. I understand like Zach Wilson's stats don't really jump off the page. In 3 games, he has 572 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. But that's also behind a makeshift offensive line, right? That's not completely on Zach. He's scrambling. He's, when the pocket collapses, he's getting out. He's extending plays. He's running. He's being mobile. He's doing everything that you ask him to do. He's really being a game manager. And do we want to see that big passing 300-yard game from Zach? Yes. Do we want to see him throw 5 touchdowns in a game? Yes. But if you think about it, in 3 games, he's thrown 2 interceptions, and that was in the Steelers game. One of those balls bounced right off of Tyler Conklin's hand, and the other one, it was a bad read. That one is completely on Zach, but that's what you're expecting, right? It was his first game back. Maybe he was a little nervous. He was wiping some of the rust off. 1 interception. Are we really going to complain about that? I'm not. You see veteran players get, throwing interceptions. It happens. When you're throwing a football, sometimes it gets picked off. It's just the way it is. I'm not too concerned about it. But, like I said, he's doing all of this. He's being a game manager behind a makeshift offensive line. Elijah Vera Tucker, he is playing all over the offensive line. The only position he hasn't played is center, and I'm sure he could play that pretty damn well. He's playing at a Pro Bowl level. Dwayne Brown, he's playing quality football with an injury. And hats off to him. We say it all the time on the podcast. Dwayne Brown, he could have taken his, all the guaranteed money, $9 million, whatever it is, and he could have went off and had surgery and he would have been done for the year, gotten paid, and that would have been the end of it. Dwayne Brown, I think he sees Robert Saleh's vision. I think he sees something in this team that he wants to be a part of. He wants to be a part of the winning. He wants to be a part of this rebuild. He wants to be a part of these results that we're finally seeing, because this is exciting football, guys. It really is. And getting back in, to the running backs here, Brees Hall. Oh my God. I cannot say enough good things about Brees Hall. Brees Hall is playing like Le'Veon Bell. That's who he reminds me of. A lot of people say Matt Forte. I see a lot of Le'Veon Bell, early Le'Veon Bell, Steelers Le'Veon Bell in Brees Hall. He's patient. He has his vision. He doesn't really just hit the hole running. He kind of waits for a hole to open up and then he attacks it. When somebody goes to tackle him, he doesn't go down on the first hit. You see him dragging defenders for extra yards. A lot of times it feels like he's always like 1 yard short of the touchdown, which really irks me, because then a lot of times they hand it off to Michael Carter or, Braxton Berrios or somebody else. But the identity on this offense is they are running the ball, right? They're not asking Zach Wilson to throw for 300 yards. They understand that it was a luxury pick, as a lot of PFF George is still bashing Brees Hall, saying, "Oh, it's not like the biggest need on the team." I didn't. I also, not to say I agree with PFF George, but I agree that at the time of the draft, running back was not a premium position that the Jets should have been looking at. Now that they have it, I'm glad. Now that we have Brees Hall, I love him. That's not to say I never didn't love him. It's just I thought there was bigger holes on this team, right? And with him on this team now, he's making a difference. He's proving why he was picked where he was. He's proving that he belongs on the field. He's proving that he's a starter. He's showing that he has a bright future. He's only a rookie. He's playing lights out football. He understands, like, he gets the game. He actually tweeted out something a couple days ago. He made a mistake and he wrote the caption, "Haha, rookie moment." It's happening, but these guys are learning from their mistakes. What else can you ask for? It's the the wide receivers. I understand that Elijah Moore is a little frustrated, and I think his time is going to come, right? I'm not too worried about Elijah Moore because Zach Wilson, he's like 12 for 18 the other day. Like, it's just every game is not going to be a pass heavy game. They're they're realizing that a lot of teams are having a hard time stopping the run, so they're running the ball down their throats. It's just the way it is. Garrett Wilson, he's kind of fallen off a little bit. Maybe he's not getting as many targets as he was a couple weeks ago. Specifically, his breakout game against the Cleveland Browns. But they're maximizing these guys' skill sets, right? They understand that Corey Davis is a big body. He can go one-on-one with defenders, and he's getting those 50-50 balls. Garrett Wilson, he's more of like a, kind of like run, attack the middle of the field kind of guy, slants, and they're hitting him with that. When it counts the most, these guys are making plays, and this coaching staff is maximizing all of these guys' strengths. What else can you ask for? I want to get into the coaching staff a little bit more, right? Robert Saleh's message is obviously getting through to the team. All gas, no break. You can't preach all gas, no break, and then go and get blown out. And a lot of guys, the New York Jets fan base was calling for Robert Saleh's head a couple weeks ago. The receipts, the comments like that. It was a big deal. Now, these guys, his defense, we're seeing a lot of resemblance from his defense to San Francisco's 2019 Super Bowl defense. It's true. His message, what he's preaching, that extra 60%, you're seeing it on the field. We've seen in years past these New York Jets defense quit. We've seen players on offense quit, give up, stop running routes, getting lazy. These guys are running through a brick wall for Robert Saleh and even Jeff Ulbrich. Jeff Ulbrich, I started the hashtag Fire Ulbrich. That's a receipt that I'm going to have to eat because Jeff Ulbrich, he has his defense playing well. Like they're not really doing the rotations as much. I think they're kind of learning from that the rotations, maybe not the best way to go. It happens. These guys, they're learning from their mistakes. It's a young coaching staff. Jeff Ulbrich has some more experience than Robert Saleh, but it's a young coaching staff overall. Like we're all gelling, and like I said, not to beat a dead horse here, but they are learning on the job from their mistakes, and we're seeing tangible improvement. Mike LaFleur, he's opening up his playbook, and I think he's kind of known as like the trickery guy. He gets the ball to Braxton Berrios. Braxton Berrios is throwing touchdowns to Zach Wilson. Like we're seeing a lot of ending arounds. We're seeing a lot of creativity, and it looks like these guys on offense and defense they're having fun. You see Sauce Gardner, running around with a cheese head on his head. You see Brees Hall's rookie of the week once again. This is his second time this season. Last week it was Sauce. Then it was Garrett Wilson a couple weeks ago. We're seeing tangible progress from this team. And a lot of times we weren't seeing that. It was a lot of moral victories, especially last year. Robert Saleh was saying, "Oh, they're playing hard. We couldn't get it done in the fourth quarter. We're not good on third down." We're seeing this team close out games in the fourth quarter. We're seeing this team blow out quality teams. The Miami Dolphins. You know what? They're saying because of Teddy Bridgewater that that's the only reason that we won. I'll tell you what, Teddy Bridgewater played last week and he stunk. He did not look like a good quarterback out there at all. So whether it was Teddy Bridgewater, Skylar Thompson, I don't care who it was, the New York Jets laid 40 points on them. And that was their offense. The Jets offense was moving the ball at will. Last week, they go out and they beat Hall of Fame quarterback Aaron Rodgers. They looked great against Aaron Rodgers. Quinnen Williams had the best game of his career, hands down. And you're seeing him getting slimed on. Like, this team is having fun. This is exciting time for Jets fan. This is an exciting time for the New York Jets. I was saying early in the season, I don't want to go back to another game. You know what? I think I'm going to end up going to a couple more games this year. I want to go support this team. That's all that these fans have ever wanted. We're willing to spend the money. But a lot of times it's like you get no investment on your return. You go to a game at MetLife, everything is super expensive, and then it takes you 3 hours to get out of the parking lot after the game. But you know what? After a win, sometimes it doesn't matter. You hang out in the parking lot, you play a game of beer pong, you have a couple shots, have a couple drinks. Don't drink and drive, I'm not saying that. But you celebrate a good win at home. We're undefeated on the road, so we're going into other teams' buildings, other team stadiums, and we're not really a good traveling team. We don't tend to play well on the road. This year, the New York Jets have improved that. We go into hostile Pittsburgh. They're all waving their terrible towels, and the Jets come out with the win. In Cleveland, we're seeing all the signs against Zach and blah blah blah. They come out and they play well in Cleveland. You saw it last week in historic Lambeau Field. They played great in a historic Lambeau Field environment. Now they're going up to Denver. The air's quality is poor, mile high. It's not really a great place to play. Teams tend to struggle there, especially the New York Jets. Can we go out and can we make another statement against these guys? I think we can. Just go out there. I don't think we're going to be walking away from that game saying same old Jets. I think that narrative is dead 6 feet below. That narrative is buried right next to Rex Ryan's football from that Monday night loss game against the Patriots at One Jets Drive. That's where the same old Jets is buried. This is the new New York Jets. They're receiving a ton of national praise. If you're looking at the playoff picture now, the New York Jets are currently the sixth seed, I believe it is, sixth or seventh seed. Our season is alive and well, right? We're 4-2. Stephen A. Smith is praising us. We made his top 5. We're ranked top 16th or top 15, something like that. We're up there, guys. Like, I think a lot of people are saying, like, week 1, weeks 2, it's like, like, obviously week 1 loss and everyone's like, oh, it's the Jets. They lose. That's what they do. They lose games. Week 2, oh, they got lucky. The Cleveland Browns browned before the Jets can jet. But you know what it is? Now we're beating the Packers. Now we're starting to get that respect. Dan Orlovsky, he's respecting us. Stupid Brady Quinn, he's just doubling down on his takes. Don't listen to guys like him. But you know what it is? Like the national media, they're looking, they're going, these aren't the same old Jets. You heard it right from Aaron Rodgers' mouth on the Pat McAfee show. Pat McAfee doesn't tend to give the Jets credit, and Aaron Rodgers goes, no. These guys, they have young playmakers. This is not the same old Jets. They have talent. They're a very hard team to face right now. And you know what it is? It's helping their confidence. I think they're only going to feed off of that. It's only going to fuel that fire. And they're going to want to go out. They're going to want to continue to play well. And you're hearing guys like Zach Wilson. You're hearing guys like Brees Hall. Listen, we're not the same old Jets because we weren't here for that. We don't care what happened 2-3 years ago. We weren't here for that. Zach Wilson even said, he goes, I didn't really, I'm from Utah. I didn't really watch a ton of New York Jets football. Like, I know, like, they haven't been good in the last couple of years, but, like, I can't give you, like, a deep dive into, like, the New York Jets. He goes, I'm here to fix it. And that's what they're doing. So, I don't know if this video made sense to you guys. I kind of just rambled on. I understand that. But it's just the current state of the New York Jets is excitement. We're excited right now. Are we going to lose a couple more games? Yeah, probably. Are we going to be calling for anyone's head? I don't think so. I don't think that's fair to do. I think this team, up to this point, they have proved that they are so far a competent NFL organization. Right now, they look competent. Joe Douglas is getting credit. Everyone's loving Woody Johnson once again on Twitter. Robert Saleh, they're buying into him. Robert Saleh is saying all the right things in the media. And I think this team is starting to get some of the respect that they deserve. It's bright, it's fun, it's young, it's exciting. This team is fun to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 New York Jets have shown up. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. If you guys do like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on because we have daily content. Tomorrow we have a Jets Broncos preview show tomorrow night at 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 p.m. Central. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to talk some more Jets soon.